we got to change it around, and sometimes Miguel.
Yeah, but you got that stuff coming soon.
Right. Uh, well, welcome to Town Talk. The last show in January. Hasn't been a bad month.
No. What's it? 4 days have been below normal. All the rest have been above normal.
Yeah, I mean it's been pretty darn good, and we only got 2 more left to get out of here. And they're talking snow Saturday, but not a lot.
Yeah, it's gonna be rain.
So, I mean, hopefully we get through February, and then if it snows in March, it doesn't last as long. But we want to talk tonight about the fire station. There's a site now, if you go to the town website, and I believe under plans, or planning, so under one of those headings, you click on it, and the new conceptual plans, and all the study, the whole study package for the new fire station is there, and it's about, somewhere, probably 60 pages or something, quite a few. And Russ is looking at some of them now, because I couldn't print them all out, because I would have cleaned out my ink and my printer. But this is a conceptual diagram of what it would look like. Almost looks like,
Douglas.
yeah, no, Douglas is more of a metal building.
No. Well, so it's going to be a metal building with, cement. Brick and stuff around it.
Yeah. Well, with that tower there, it almost looks like a state prison.
Well, that is going to be a training tower.
Right.
So because Auburn has a training tower. If you want to go all the way to hell up there,
you have to have it today. We need the guys need good training, and you want to build it right. So I mean that's the way to do it. And then off to the side of that would be office space.
Right.
And of course, the entry you enter from the rear.
Drive in, drive out.
Drive in, drive out.
Which is awesome.
And well, can we put up there we go. There is a conceptual drawing of what it would look like on the site. Now,
what's that driveway?
It's quite the driveway.
What's that driveway?
Yeah. And you're not going to have all that grass there because it's all trees.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to cut them all down.
I hope not. I hope they don't clear cut that area. There's a lot of people live around there.
Yeah. But as far as I'm concerned, wouldn't it make more sense to purchase the houses? There's 2 houses, and put it down in front?
It would make sense.
I mean, how much could it cost you? You take them by them, and people live there may not like me saying it, but.
I've been doing a lot of research on this. So
Yes.
Anybody that's watching, if you have a question that you want answered, I'm meeting with the fire chief tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
So
He has, I
call
reached
Russ
out to
tonight
him.
and ask.
Right. I reached out to him. He and I had a spirited discussion at the forum. We've had spirited discussion afterwards. We're going to sit face to face like gentlemen. David's a friend of mine. Okay? I've been fighting for this for a long time. You look at these response times, they're a little unnerving. And I don't believe them. I don't know how they came up with them. That's one of the questions I'm asking tomorrow morning. How did they come up with these? What is the number that we're going to work with? They haven't come up with that yet. These are questions. And I'm also going to get some information that I've been wanting to have on what's the value of the equipment that we have right now. I want to know how much money is in that dump on Main Street and the dump on 122. Because that's what they are. They're dumps. And something's going to have to be done. It's as I always say, you may have just, bought a new car. But if your house has a leaky roof, you still got to fix it.
Right.
I liken that to the school. And we'll do my report on that in a minute. But seriously, if you want a question answered, I have my pen and my pad. I will write it down. We will talk about it tomorrow, and I'll have an answer for you next week.
There's no doubt we need a new firehouse. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. And I know a lot of people ain't going to like the fact because the bills went up quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
This wouldn't bring it up as much.
No.
But
plus the fact that you have a long-term, it could be a long-termer.
Yeah.
Look, that one I've been here 40. How long you been here?
Well, 71 years.
How many years have they been in that building?
Before I was born.
Okay. So 80 some odd years, 90 years. They've been in the
yeah.
same building. It's time. It may not be ideal, but it's better than what we have.
Not only that, the town never built a fire
Nope.
station.
Got away with it all these years.
Yeah. The White Machine Works built the one in Winesville, and Paul Whiten built this one. And the one in Winesville was originally built as a maintenance place for the White Machine Works, not as a firehouse, but a maintenance place. And later they turned it into a fire station to protect the White Machine Works, and then eventually turned it over to the town. So, I mean, we need to make the commitment. But
It's 2020.
location is it?
It's 2020.
Yeah.
Let's stop the foolishness. Do what we have to do. Get the job done. It may not be ideal. Would I rather have it somewhere else? Absolutely. But if this is what the studies have done, okay. I'm going to talk about that tomorrow. I
Yep.
want to see what's going on. Just so we're here and I can give you my book report, my weekly book report. We got a lot of steel up. There's 3 floors of steel up. All the girders are up. All the steel for the flooring is in on the left section, right next to the school. They haven't started the right section yet, but the left section is up. And they're working till 5 o'clock every day.
I know there's a lot of trucks going in and out of there.
Every day they're working till 5 o'clock, and they're working weekends because they've got the weather.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to take advantage of the weather.
Absolutely.
So it's well worth it. Work late, do whatever you got to do. Work weekends. This is the time to do it while the weather's holding, because we could get a major snowstorm at any time,
Oh, yeah.
and that's going to hamper everything right
Oh,
there.
yeah. It'll shut them down.
Yep.
It's kind of funny right at this point. Here we are on January 29th, and they're watering all of the property every day
Keep
to
the
keep the dust down.
I know.
It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. Now, this weekend, they won't have to worry about that.
Yeah, under normal conditions, they wouldn't worry about
No,
it 'cause
because
covered
it'll be
with
snow.
Yeah. And in some cases, it's not even frozen.
No.
The ground is
no,
thawing
they're
out.
still doing. I'll tell you what, I've had a lot of conversation and interaction with them. They emailed me again today about the trees. What kind of trees are you looking for? Did we
Yep.
disrupt your trees? Do we need to put a tree up at your house? What kind of trees do you want behind your fence? So the guy Anton down there is very, very neighbor friendly.
Are you hearing any complaints from your fellow neighbors?
Yeah. When they put the first off, it's very loud. I have 2 doors in my house that are tilted now. I have a crack in the wall in my bedroom.
Whoa.
There's a lot of power going on back there. So we're gonna have to talk about it. They'll have to fix it. Whatever.
Right.
There was a time when they put the cement in for the foundations, and they waterproof or they seal the outside of it
Yep.
with a product, and it is awful for 2 weeks, and now it's gone.
Stench.
It stinks like, but it seals the foundation,
Right.
and that's what they have to do. And then when they do the roofing, it'll do it again. So, but the neighbors are like, it's funny because the people in the upper side of like Goldwith, like, how do you stand it down here? We can hear it at our house.
I was gonna man, yeah. I mean, it's pretty loud. And you put it up on steel. It's not a silent job.
That's not bad. It's the trucks and them backfilling. Because all you hear is beep, 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 all day long.
That'll drive you crazy.
All day long. And then when they pack it, boy, I tell you, everything rumbles. Everything rumbles. But we're an eighth of the way in, so they're starting to put steel up. Soon they'll enclose it, and that'll be good.
Yeah, once that's done, it'll be a lot quieter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, you'll get you. And they're very vigilant. As a matter of fact, it was funny. The Northeast truck came in the other morning. I was getting out of the shower, and I saw him. And it's an electrical, supply company.
Yeah.
And they were stuck there
You couldn't.
because the blackout. They have a blackout when the kids are going to school. So he was
Oh,
stuck
so
there till the
guy
blackout was
stuck
over.
inside the.
And then as soon as the blackout was over, they let him out of the gate.
Ah.
And they're very vigilant. I got to give them credit.
Yep.
Very, very vigilant.
So they're doing a good job.
They really are. They're really doing a good job. We don't have any hassles with the guys. We're not, it's a clean site. So
And they may get done ahead of schedule if the weather holds for
yeah,
them.
could be.
I mean, they've got to be ahead of schedule now.
I think they are. I think that's why you're secondary.
Yeah, top. That one there, you go.
You're on.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Hey, good evening, guys.
Hello,
Hello.
Barry.
Hey, get your pen ready, Russ. Okay. Some first questions is that we have to agree that are they satisfied? Is the school committee and the Whitensville School District satisfied that there's going to be an increased response time to all the schools? Is that something that's been discussed with the schools? And the other thing is, I'm trying to say, but as Harry can attest to, we just got approved and acclaimed local historic district with the National Park Service, and it's my understanding the town in an MOU said that they have to keep the National Park Service abreast of all the major town facilities that they included in that at the last town meeting. And my understanding, there will be an increased response time to all those facilities. So
Well,
has the town, looked at that? And another thing too is, the taxpayers are taking quite an economical hit here. We're doing the new school, the new turf field, the CPA plus the regular 2.5% growth. And what is the town doing to help the taxpayers? Now, it's my understanding the town is going to be getting $300,000 a year on all the solar projects, and could something be done to amend that bylaw to change it to get only $200,000 a year, and take that additional $100,000 and recalibrate that in another town meeting so that $100,000 can help pay for the fire station or whatever whenever they decide if it is approved.
Well,
Now-
that can be done by town meeting.
Right.
You know,
And the other thing too is, another thing is it's as you know, the town's private accountants hasn't been at a town meeting in I think in 3 years. So my understanding in the main stabilization account, we have close to over around $2.6 million, free cash a little bit over $1 million, health stabilization close to $1 million, and then we get end of the year transfers in July. It doesn't seem unreasonable that the town could also take $100,000 a year that they're going to put into these reserves, combined with that $100,000 from the solar to help, the taxpayers pay for this. And like you said, we still don't have a price. And, from my understanding, the fire station that Uxbridge did, that was like around $8.5 million. And that's another thing. I mean, I don't understand, could they have used the same footprint as Uxbridge, and would it have been cheaper to help the taxpayers? That's another thought. And another thing, too, is as Harry knows, I worked with Roger and Neil and some other excellent people in the town on a lot of the DPW facilities. And what we found out was we had several meetings up in the Attorney General's office reference to municipal construction. And they told us that if you use modular construction in your municipal facility, that modular construction is done off the location. And so the town would not have to pay prevailing rate for that modular construction that's done off location. When the modular construction is brought on site to that location, that's when the town would have to pay the prevailing rate. So the town could save significantly there. So I don't know if that's something that they could talk with the architect if any modular construction can be used in this facility to help the taxpayer. And so, I mean, these are some things that hopefully that person I spoke to the other day said they never even looked at the former East Street school site. So,
Don't own it.
Don't own it,
you know,
they
there's
can't.
some questions there why
Don't
those
own it.
weren't looked at.
We don't own it.
We don't own the
It's
property,
going to be a
and
car wash.
Well, no, I'm talking about the East Street school site. That's the old West Street cars.
Okay, East. When you say East Street, like you're talking about,
It was in that big parking lot where the
it's parking the old, the former, yeah.
And that
that's not a big enough site.
that's not a big enough site.
no.
No way, no way.
No.
You have to be able to drive these trucks in the back and come out the
Okay, I
front.
just didn't know if you took that, if you took the top lot and that big parking lot
No, if
where
you,
the former school was, and so I was wondering about that.
well, if you look at where that street's where that site is located, that's kind of complicated to get around. You have a hard time with cars getting around in there, especially during school because
So-
teachers park there.
So one of your questions is, this is one of the parts on the site. Okay, it shows different sites. This is the site that they picked.
Here's down here, was the listing why those sites weren't good.
Right. So first off, what they're saying is to the schools, which is in, it's kind of in like reddish, is over 8 minutes. So your schools, and then Linwood Ave school is green. So they're saying, well, it's like, I don't know how they calculate this. It's not possible. That's got to be Fletcher.
And they're not saying when they did those times, was it done during excellent weather and what time of day?
Well, that's the question that I'm asking is, was it done with a truck or was it done with a car? A car is a lot easier to maneuver than, a gigantic truck. And the other thing is, and you have to bring it up, the $100,000 that for solar, at any time, a citizen can take a petition and make a petition to put that on the town meeting.
Right.
And if it's voted for, it goes in.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I agree with you saying, but now it's my understanding our town manager is getting an excellent salary, and he also represents the taxpayers in the town, not just town government. And so, I mean, this is something that he should be looking at. I mean, he's being very well compensated, and he easily could put that on the town meeting warrant article to amend that other bylaw.
No.
Someone would have to propose that to him.
Yeah, he can't put it on.
I mean,
The selectmen would have
we
to
have
put
a
it
board
on.
of selectmen that are supposed to also represent the people.
Oh, you're
They're the
100%
ones that have
right.
to put it on.
You're 100% right. Someone would have to get in their ear, give them an idea, and have it put on. They have to bring it up in front of the other board members, vote on it, and put it on the warrant. The warrant is open.
Right.
The warrant is open all the time.
Yeah.
It only closes.
Well, it would be around the end of March.
Well, it closes. Yeah, it's actually a specific amount of days, 45 or 90 days or something like that, before the town meeting. So anyone could put an article on. Just
Right,
bring it to the.
I know anyone can put an article on, but I'm saying too that I mean, you think that the town manager, using his due diligence, not to just represent town government, to also represent all facets of the economic class of the
Right,
town.
I agree with you.
To say that
Under
the people just get hit.
under the charter, it has to be a board or committee to put it on. If you're an individual, you have to get 10 signatures.
Right.
But the town, and you have to be a citizen. The town,
But if my memory is correct, Harry, Ted was the one who put that bylaw on for the maintenance of.
no, he suggested a selectman put it on.
Right. So I mean, our present town manager could do the same thing.
Right, he can suggest it to the selectmen,
Right.
and then the
I can't-
selectmen
I
have to
can't
vote
see
to put
why
it
the
on.
Board of Selectmen wouldn't help support the taxpayers. That
Right,
are
well, it
being,
would be up to the Board of Selectmen to vote to
hit
put it
pretty
on.
Good right now,
Right,
And I mean, it would only help them to get the fire station passed. If the taxpayers know that there's going to be some shared financial burden between the town and the taxpayers, not just it always being one way. And the other thing, Russ, I wanted to bring up was I think Harry would agree with me. There's an extensive amount of ledge down on that property, and as you know, I think it was with the high school, the ledge was underestimated, and we
was
ended
it
up
ever?
paying significantly for
$1.2
that.
million. They
And-
wouldn't listen.
Go ahead.
Your buddy Roger brought that up several times in several meetings, and they would not listen. And it cost them $1.2 million.
So, I mean,
I agree with you
so
wholeheartedly.
what safeguards and assurances is if this thing is passed and they get in there and they hit ledge, and then there's cost overruns, who pays that? Or is the project then downsized because they have to use the money to compensate for the ledge that may be underestimated? I mean, I think they did test borings and everything on the high school, but they ran into an unknown variable.
Yep.
But I mean, if you go down there, you can see the ledge sticking out of the ground.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, it's
I agree.
that's another issue that we need answers on.
You got the ledge sticking up in the middle of the rotunda when you walk in.
Yeah, right in the lobby.
Right in the lobby.
Yeah, there's a hunk of it right in the lobby.
That's why he told Henry O'Donnell to put a ram up there, and he did.
Right. So I mean,
I got you.
hopefully there's some innovative things that they'll do for the taxpayers, and but again, I also agree with that gentleman that was at the meeting that night, and he said if the taxpayers are going to pay who knows what they're going to come out with a price, $10 to $15 million, and we're going to have a fire station that's hidden in the woods. And again, like I said, I just reemphasize what that individual said. It should be something that we're proud of and that we can see, and that it's part of the community. Is if they say that that's the only location, then I guess we got to deal with the deck of cards that we're given. But there's definitely a lot of issues, and I think these response times to all the schools, including the Whitensville Christian School and the local historic district, is something that has to be taken into consideration. And the other thing is there may be some people that may not just have the pleasure of getting their property taxes increased. They may also have to get their home insurance increased because of the different ISO ratings with the response times on people's home insurance. So that's another question that has to be addressed.
You're 100% right.
And the other thing too is that if the response times go up for the schools and all the town buildings, does that mean the town's municipal liability insurance premiums may also go up because the response times are going to be increased?
No.
So
if
there's a lot of
response
things
times,
that has to be looked at, and I agree we need a new fire station, but it also has to be well thought out, and it also has to be take into account the economic feasibility of the taxpayers.
response times are reflected on your personal fire insurance
Right.
under underwriters.
But I'm saying there may
Underwriter
be some people,
laboratory.
right, that there may be some people that in the northern section of town, if that's moved to the southern section, that they may get a surprise in their
Well,
home insurance
this is-
bills, and
this was t-
hopefully the town can give us some answers on that.
Well, one of the things taken into consideration was the fact that, they looked at 180 Main Street, 1681 Providence Road, 644 Providence Road, 260 Providence Road, 44 Cross Street, and 198 Church Ave, which is where we are right now, which I don't know why they looked at it, because we wouldn't have sold them the property anyway. But anyway, besides that, what they looked at was a lot of those were eliminated because of the fact Cross Street and 198 Church Ave, because they don't want two fire houses. They want it to combine to one. So what they looked for was the most central location to be able to cover the whole town.
Right.
That's not central.
But I mean,
I agree,
Harry,
it's not.
Harry, am I correct that the Rockdale Fire Station is not staffed?
No, it's not.
So that's kind of a non-issue then, right?
Right.
Well, it's staffed by call firefighters, and there's, in the report, there is a map of where they live,
Right.
and some of them are close by. I don't know how much you can rely on that, because I was on a fire department back in the 70s.
Right.
When a good amount of us lived in town and worked in town. I didn't, but a good majority did. In fact, worked the way machine works in
Yep.
many cases. But we don't have that now, so some of these call firefighters aren't even available during the day.
Right. So the Rockdale Fire Station, even though it's there, it's kind of a non-issue.
Right.
And what we've been able to live with the situation where the fire station's been up in the Northern District for almost 90 years. So.
Right. Well, even when the Rockdale Station one's a
Did
man.
they say why they couldn't use the NES school, Harry?
Well, I haven't got the reasons why, but that would have been Cross Street. I don't have the whole report in front of me because the report like 60 pages. I was going to print the whole thing out. Okay, it says here.
If you look at if they took
Okay,
the
Cross
NES school
Street.
down and they took the land that the modular classrooms are on by eminent domain, and then you also have some of the admin property.
Just so you know, we already own that land. We
Right.
paid St. Pat's a fortune for that land.
Okay, it says here, by virtue of being near to north-south travel routes, has slightly better coverage than the current headquarters. However, when we move from 6 minutes and greater, then scenario C proves better coverage. And scenario C is where they picked.
But they've been comfortable with the coverage at the present location for 90 years.
Right. Well, they had no choice.
So I mean, if you look at the Uxbridge Fire Station, the new Uxbridge Fire Station, to me it would look to me like it could fit at that NES school site. I mean, I'm not an engineer, but it looks like there's plenty of room for that same type of fire station to be fit there.
I don't know that you can tear down the administration building.
No, I'm not saying the administration building. I'm saying that you got the area, the parking lot,
The school,
the NES school site, and
Right.
then the property that the modular classrooms are on.
I honestly don't think it's big enough without the administration building.
Yeah, you don't have quick access to Linwood Ave, which you really would need. When you're talking that ladder truck is pretty long. You know, Cross Street's not that big.
Yeah, but I mean, Harry, if you look, have you ever seen the Milford fire station? I
Yeah.
mean, they're right on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
And-
believe me, if they built a new one, it wouldn't be there.
Right, and then I mean, if you look at the Upton fire station, looks like it almost is about the same space as the NES school. So I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm just throwing some thoughts out, but I mean, at least if it was at the NES school, you'd have a quicker response time to the schools.
But here again, what they're saying is
the school committee happy with the bigger response time to the schools? Is the Whitensville Christian School happy with a bigger response time
That I
to
don't
the
know.
schools? I mean, that's something that has to be addressed.
right. I mean, here again, they would say then you have a very poor response time to Rockdale.
Well, but that's how it's been for 90 years.
Well, they didn't look because there is an engineer, and someone can get there fairly quick.
Well, you can keep the Rockdale station open then. It's not.
Well,
costing
that's
us
what they're
anything
trying to
now.
eliminate because that station is in disrepair as well as the Waynesville station.
Just as old.
Well,
Yeah.
I,
No, Waynesville's a lot older.
No,
well, I mean,
old.
if the Rockdale station is in disrepair, why don't they close it?
Because you need it. Where are you going to put the truck?
Too far away from.
They can keep it open.
Well, you're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't.
No.
Right. So,
Well,
I mean,
you could say that about Waynesville Station
I mean,
too. Let's just
all
keep
there
it open, not
basically
build
is
any.
There's
That
a
may happen.
fire engine in there and it's not staffed.
Right.
So I mean, you could technically keep it open,
You could.
but anyway, hey, just some thoughts and some things you can talk with the fire chief tomorrow about.
I will do that.
All right, hey.
Thank you.
Thanks an awful lot, and
All right.
excellent show, and keep up the great work.
Thanks.
Okay.
Bye. So, on another subject, they're talking about chiefs. So, didn't you say to me Millville was almost bankrupt?
Yeah, they are.
Does it shock you that the Millville police chief is such an idiot?
Well, he said he didn't say that.
No, he did.
I know he did.
No, he forgot. He forgot one thing.
Right.
He was on tape.
Ah.
Turtle Boy already got a hold of it.
Oh, he
They're
got the tape?
tearing him apart.
He got the tape?
I guess he saw it.
Oh,
So, yeah, it's he's an idiot. And here's how stupid the selectmen are. He said, I never said that, and they said, okay.
I know.
This is a guy who was a police chief in Rhode Island, retired, is on a pension from them, and they hired him there, and they're bankrupt.
Yeah. They had a new town manager because the old one said, I'm getting out of here. This place is falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
They found a guy to come. There's always someone available. I don't know what they pay him.
I'm sure they pay him pretty good.
Probably, yeah.
There's a base wage for most,
But how
police chiefs.
many officers work under him? 2 or 3?
I think it's on shift. I think it's 3. On shift.
Per shift?
Per shift, I think it's 3.
There 3 shifts?
That's 3 shift. That's 9 guys.
Wow. I didn't think
And
they
they're
had
all
that
4
many.
and 2s. That's the union. They're all 4 and 2s. So you figure, I mean, even if he has 2, two per shift.
That's one reason they're bankrupt.
Yeah, well,
See,
they don't have any industry.
My suggestion is that they join back up with Blackstone. They were part of
Yeah,
Blackstone.
that was Blacksville Millville, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be the smartest thing, get rid of him.
They were part of Blackstone. They were part of the town of Blackstone. They were a village in the town of Blackstone.
Oh, okay.
Like Rockdale would be
Sure,
to Whitensville.
sure.
And in the 1920s, one of the last towns to be incorporated was Millville. They broke off. A little animosity that goes on. You know how you had that between the villages, and they can't afford to be separate. They're too small. They regionalize on their school. They could regionalize on their public safety.
Sure. Why not? You don't have that many businesses or housing.
Right.
And now you got a police chief who looks like an idiot.
I know. And what exactly did he do? He got in an argument with
He
someone?
got in an argument with a guy dropping off a vintage car that he bought out of Florida.
Yeah.
And he got in the cop's face.
And does he live in Uxbridge?
He lives in Uxbridge.
He's
yeah.
a Millville chief. He lives in Uxbridge.
Uh-huh. And he said to the Board of Selectmen, I never identified myself as a cop, which is a bold-faced lie.
Yeah, because they got it on tape, right?
Of course they don't. He's don't be stupid. It's just, you can't get away with that kind of crap today.
Right.
You're just, somebody's going to have a tape. It's going to get out.
But, that shows you how professional the Uxbridge police are.
Kid held his, young kid.
Yeah.
He held his cool.
Yeah.
He held his cool because it could have gotten ugly.
Yeah. Not only that, he could have been, my job's in jeopardy. This guy's the chief. He's going to come. No, my chief. What's going to happen to me? But he stuck by his guns.
He should have cuffed him and stuffed him.
Yep.
You gotta love him. You gotta love him.
That is unbelievable.
Go back to Rhode Island.
I can tell you, 30, 40 years ago, you wouldn't have heard that.
No. You can't get away with anything.
No.
Somebody's going to find out about it. It's going to come out.
Made international news, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now you know why they're bankrupt. They don't know how to hire people.
Well, the incident at the school where the kid,
Yeah.
that made international news.
Oh, yeah.
I know someone who was in Florida heard about it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yep.
And it was no big deal.
No.
But they made a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
There's one punch.
Yeah.
And the kid's fine.
Yeah. Everything's all right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think he's any smarter, but
Well,
that's what I heard.
that's why at this point in time, you can't have a resource officer for 4 schools.
No.
You have to have a resource officer in each school.
Right.
And I know it's a fortune. But in this day and age,
Well, we get the new school. You only need it in 3 then.
yeah, well, if you consider, the middle school, well, actually 4. Middle school, Whitensville Christian, if they want to have one, you'd have to have 4.
You don't need one there.
No. But he's retiring. Lance is retiring. Lance Engbers is retiring.
Oh.
This is his last year. He ran a tight ship. Great guy.
But, Christian school, Valley Tech, they don't have those problems.
Right.
And the reason they don't is because if you want to be there, you toe the line.
Oh yeah, or you
Because-
get kicked out.
You're out.
Right.
Whereas in the other schools, you got to take them.
Right, right.
And I've always said that this is part of the problem.
Uh-huh.
No matter what the kid does, they got to take them.
Mm-hmm.
It could be a attendance problem. It could be a problem, discipline problem. Doesn't matter. You got them. And and that's what makes it tougher.
Oh,
and it's
sure.
unfair to the school, to say that the school's got to. Well, they have a tough time because they have no alternatives.
Well, I know a lot of teachers, and I was having a conversation about discipline, and they have a situation in the Worcester school system where a kid will come in and have a tantrum. Well,
Yep.
all the other kids leave the room till the kid stops having the tantrum.
Yeah,
That's crap.
it is.
Take the kid, put him in the principal's office, and let him have a tantrum down there. Don't punish the other kids because he's out of control.
Well, that's the way it used to be.
Right.
When we went to school, that's
Well,
the
no,
way.
when we went to school, we didn't have tantrums. Because you
No.
get your ass kicked.
You
And then when
got-
you went home and told your mother or your father, you got a second one.
Oh, yeah.
But that's,
I mean-
I'll never forget Elaine Ford. She was the principal at the Balmer School. Fabulous person.
I remember her, yes.
Fabulous person. She went up to the Shaw School in Millbury. Great person. Know her very well. And at one point in time, I was still on the board. I said to her, "How's your year?" She goes, "Well," I said, I'm right about 50-50. I'm like, "What do you mean 50-50?" She said, "Well, I'm being sued by about 60 people for not raising their children, and I'm being sued by about 65 people for trying to raise their children." She says, "I'm about 50-50. I'm like, "Are you serious?" She goes, "Yeah, I'm serious." I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, you had corporal punishment in the schools. We got to bring it back.
You are on.
Hit the speaker one.
There you are.
Ah,
My fat thumbs.
Uh,
You there?
yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Okay,
You're talking about discipline in the schools?
right.
I went to St. Peter's,
Well, there's plenty
and
there.
I swear those nuns knew karate.
Yep.
And I had a piano teacher, I kid you not. She had, you know how they had the rulers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they like to hit the
Well,
hands.
Her ruler would cover the whole keyboard. It was a yardstick.
Ouch.
Yeah, I got straight A's in music. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you didn't mess with the nuns.
Oh, no.
I went to St. Philip's School in Saddlebrook, New Jersey, and I had the Sisters of Charity. And I don't know how the heck they got that name.
Yeah, there was no charity there.
There was no charity in that joint.
Yeah, but you know something? We grew up fine. I
Respecting.
mean, and like you said, my mother would line us 3 Knox kids up in front of the Sister Superior at the beginning of the year and says, if any one of these kids act up, you give it to them and then let me know because they'll get it again. You know, and that's what's missing today is
Oh, yeah.
when, they were a bit strict. But I'm telling you, I never broke the law. I have always earned my way. And, it's what you put into your life.
But you all of us had respect for
Exactly.
authority and our
Oh,
elders.
heavens, if my mother even thought we disrespected an elderly person, I wouldn't have a tongue to talk of today. I wouldn't have a pair of lips. Because it would have
Right.
been ripped off my face.
Oh,
And
my
she'd make you apologize for them.
My
Oh,
mother,
yeah.
my grandmother was a Hungarian woman. She was part of my childhood. Let me tell you something. She would grab your 2 hands, put her between her knees, and go if you spoke out.
Yep.
And your lips were like this big when she was done.
Oh, yeah.
She was tough.
Yeah. Yeah, you better respected people or else.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you police officers, anybody in uniform, elders. Oh, definitely elders. Oh, if
Yep.
you even thought about being disrespectful, oh boy. But yeah, I just had to call up and let you know you're not alone in the world because I had quite the education.
Oh, yeah.
And I do believe in spanking, and I do believe that the government is sticking. I mean, grant you there is abuse, but there's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. And these kids need discipline. And if you're acting up, drag them down to the principal's office, if that's what it takes. The good kids suffer.
Oh, yeah. That's the problem. is you're not getting any education because the kids it's so disruptive in every classroom. There's nothing going on.
That's horrible. How can you learn? Well, what about the good kids that want to learn?
Right. Oh yeah.
Why
absolutely.
should they suffer?
My son has a stepdaughter, and they live in Medford, and she begged to go to a private school so she could go to get something done.
Well, I'm a firm believer in homeschooling, and there's a lot of good homeschooling. All my nieces and nephews, as far as I know, they were homeschooled.
Cool.
My sister Nell's kids, they were all homeschooled, and they turned out fine.
Well,
I mean, the education part of their life. And they're strict. I mean, they just don't. The state can step in and test these kids, make sure that they're learning. And if they're not, then they have to be put into the public school system. Which, it's a good idea.
Well, here, I have compassion for the teachers because they have to deal with these kids
Ugh.
and they have no alternative. You're stuck with them. If you got a disrupted kid in the class, it makes it awful tough.
Oh, I just can't even imagine how the teachers put up with it today. Really.
So
I really
mean,
don't know how they do it.
They try hard to teach, but you can't. You can only if you got a disrupted kid, it makes it awful tough.
Oh, yeah. And I firmly believe drag the kid down to the office and notify the parents.
Yep. Well, sometimes they're disruptive too.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Yeah.
parents yell, "Oh, not my little boy. He
Oh,
was
yeah,
like
he's
that
perfect.
person."
Yeah, my
right.
son's perfect. My daughter's perfect. Sure they are.
So-
Sure they are.
Okay, well,
What do
I
you think,
just reminisce on the old days, good old St. Peter's, yeah.
what's your opinion on a new fire station?
We need it. I think it's a disgrace what our firemen are bunked into down there. That's disgusting. And, hey, if my taxes got to go up a little, so be it. Just as long as they don't go crazy, because I'm kind of on a semi-fixed income. But, yes, you need a fire station. And, I've been in this town on and off for the past 60-some years, and it's grown. I mean, I remember Rockdale was just a sleepy little town. You could leave your screen door, literally leave everything open and nobody bothered anything.
Yeah, if you look at the report online, there's actually a growth chart in there too.
Oh, really?
And how we have doubled,
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
and we're still growing.
oh yeah. It's
So-
a nice area.
I mean, the report is quite long. That's why I didn't print the whole thing out. I went to use all my ink, but it's quite comprehensive. But if you
Wow.
got any questions, Russ is going to meet with the fire chief tomorrow.
Well, I really think we need a new fire department, no doubt about it.
Good.
Definitely, I'd vote yes.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I'm going to go, guys. I'll
Thank
let
you.
somebody else talk.
Appreciate it.
Good night.
Good night.
Aaron, can we have that floor plan? How's that? There's the floor plan. Nice building,
Mm-hmm.
and it's well set up. There's you see there's room. It's hard to read it from here on screen, but there's a place for education because you got to continually train, and they have facilities. They have it's set up as a modern fire station.
Well, and they train other people.
Right.
They just had a CPR and tourniquet course
Yes.
the
Yeah,
other
for
day.
individuals. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the police could use it too for training
Sure.
because they're first responders as well.
Yep.
But you see, our trucks fit in, and they pull it right through the building. It works great. So I mean, it's a nice building. I think it's a great concept. And
And you'll have the right equipment to attach to each one of the vehicles.
right,
When they start, they won't have smoke going anywhere. The main building has it. The downstairs does not. You need all this safety stuff now.
yeah.
You need it, and hopefully they'll have a wash station for their equipment.
Yeah,
'Cause that's
actually,
very, very important now.
we're not OSHA compliant in the current station right
Right.
now,
No.
and we get away with it because we're municipal. If that was a private company, they'd
gonna
be
shut you
closed
down.
down. They'd be
Gonna
shut
shut you down.
Yeah.
Shut you down, and they are tough. Trust me. I've been through some investigation with them.
Yeah. And like I said, you only get away with it because you're municipal.
Mm-hmm.
And Barry has some ideas on funding. I don't know. I don't know if it's $300,000 a year that we pull in from solar. I don't know if it's that high.
Yeah.
But
Have
that
to look at
goes
the
to
budget.
that goes to maintenance.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But where are you? If that is true, where are you doing $300,000 in maintenance? Who's
Right.
doing the maintenance?
I like to know.
Who the hell's doing the maintenance?
Well, it's outside.
What are they maintaining?
They put a new stairway in the town hall. He repaired the stairway, I should say.
Ah,
That was done under that. They
no.
new treads and new flooring. Yeah, that was paid for under that. And supposedly there's been some work done at the school, which I said you gotta do. I remember, they were going after the Obama school, and I told at the current time the former superintendent, I said, you're asking for a new school, and I go down to the high school, and the sidewalk's falling apart. You're not maintaining what
Right.
you the
That's
last new school.
That's the problem that we've done. We have taken the DPW and not maintained our roads, our parks, our fields, our cemeteries, because you're depleting that department. You're not doing any maintenance on any building that we have. We're just not doing it, and it's crazy. We don't maintain anything till it's broken.
Well, I think they've been improving on it.
Well,
They did.
they have to.
They did some work down at the senior center. Like they did some at the school, so they are getting to it, but they're not doing it with inside help. They're doing it with outside.
Well, you don't have inside help.
No, we don't have any.
You don't have this isn't Hartford where they
Right.
have a building department,
Right.
Yukon or someplace like that.
Well, a parks department. Even Millbury's got a parks
Oh, yeah.
department. Auburn's got a parks department.
Yep.
We don't have a parks department. It's the DPW, and that's pretty small as it is.
It's depleted to ridiculous numbers.
And they dropped another one. Well, just recently, there was just someone that was out, and they finally settled, and the guy no longer, they're not holding the position any longer, so they cut it from the budget.
Oh yeah, the 229.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. That was just absurd.
yeah.
Why you would do that in this day and age when you have more roads than ever, and you cut a person?
And more roads coming.
Yeah.
Every time they build a housing development, another road,
Yep.
except the old 55, which will be private, which I like to see happen. But, we got to come to a realization that this town is growing, and right now, I just heard, listen to real estate shows, there's a housing shortage.
Oh, it's
Well,
awful.
What that means is you're going to see houses being built. And the only reason it's not happening any fast as we might think because there's a shortage is you got to build roads. And that's a big part of it. That's a costly thing for developers, and it takes time. And they worry because you go in and start building the road, and all of a sudden the market drops off. Now you're stuck. So developers don't expand too quickly because even though there's a shortage now, it doesn't mean there'll be a shortage next year. And they don't get the roads in that fast.
No, it takes a while.
Yeah, so.
It takes a lot because you have to do. Well, you know better than anybody. You have to do the drainage. You have to do
Oh,
the
yeah.
sewers. You have to do all
Yeah.
the curbing. You have.
Yeah, so you got a lot of cost, a lot
Oh,
of
yeah.
expense, and then all of a sudden the market drops off. What do you do?
And you own a road that you can't sell.
Right,
You can sell houses. You can't sell a road.
right. So you're going to see it happening, but not that quickly, and the process takes a while too.
Mhm.
So I mean, we're going to grow. I think our build out is about 25,000. That's what's projected.
Wow.
That's a possibility. That can change too. That could change if we do some rezoning, things like that. And in some cases, you might have property that was zoned for residential that got developed in another way. Like out at Walmart, that was industrial land, and we did an overlay. The golf course up here is an overlay. That's
Mhm.
industrial land. But ended up with a little bit of both.
Open space, baby.
Yeah, a lot
Beautiful
of open
stuff.
space. That's
Beautiful
beautiful.
stuff.
Beautiful golf course.
Not a flat lie on that golf course. Not a flat lie anywhere on that golf course. But that's okay.
But you can see now, he built those houses and went bankrupt.
Yep.
Because it's so costly. I told him when he put that road in, it's going to kill him. Because I know that area. I knew what he was up against. And he said, "Oh, and I think I can handle it." Well, it cost him a lot more than he thought.
There's a lot of unforeseen things when you build a road.
Yeah, especially in this town
Yeah.
because of the ledge, and there's a lot of it, and they're gonna find out there.
Mm-hmm.
And ledge can be, you can get around it, you can get it out of there, but it's costly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, today they do all kinds of things.
Yep.
Even they don't even have to blast anymore. They break it up now.
Yeah, they got the rock splitters.
Yeah,
They did a lot of that behind us.
yeah,
There was
yeah.
a lot of rock.
Which is smart because
Oh, yeah.
you don't have the problems you have with blasting. But
Things
it's
don't pop.
costly. It's very costly, and these things. Hey, and here again, there's a place now behind you. Who would think there'd be a lot of ledge there?
There wasn't as much ledge as there were giant boulders
Yeah.
that they couldn't carry out,
Yeah.
so they had to split them.
But and this is a swamp, and look
Oh,
what
yeah, I
they
know.
found.
I know. I think somebody filled it.
Well,
I mean, there's not a house in that neighborhood that doesn't have a rock on it. It's like everybody has a rock.
Well, here again, with the ice age, the glacier,
Mm-hmm.
left a lot of debris behind,
Mm-hmm.
and we're paying the price for it.
Yeah, we are.
It's hey, I wanted to hear from people later, more so, as time goes on here, how you feel. I don't know if it's going to be on the warrant.
I think they're trying to get it on the warrant.
If they do, then we're going to get a price.
Yeah, you have to have a price.
Yeah.
You can't have it. You can't have it on the warrant
Right.
without a number because you got to know what your tax rate's going to go
Yep.
up. You got to know what the actual. You have to be able to break it down per year.
Oh yeah, I mean this is a conceptual drawing. I don't know if that's exactly what it's going to look like because you have to get into detail on the
Yep.
land, the layout, things like what you're up against, ledge and everything else. So things can change, but it is a nice looking building.
Oh yeah.
The only thing is, if they put it in the spot they want, no one's going to see it.
No, it doesn't matter what it looks like.
We're going to have to get a sign, one of those signs that shows a picture of the building.
Down here.
Down on the street, so as you can see it when you go by.
Yep.
This is what this looks like.
You know who put? You know, they didn't do a municipal public safety building in Mendon. They did a police station with several garages to put their stuff in. They built their fire station in the woods.
Oh, yes?
Yeah, I saw it the other day.
Where is it?
If you're going down to, as if you were, you know where the police station is?
Yeah,
Well, you continue down that road as if you were going to Franklin,
yeah.
and there's a house that sets back and has a beautiful lawn and stuff. There's a road right next to it. That's where the fire station is.
Oh, down there the DPW.
It's right by the DPW.
Oh, I'll take a look, and you can't see it.
Nope.
Well, we're using the same idea, huh?
Must have been the same architect.
Yeah. Is this a new concept? Bury the fire station?
Yeah, bury the fire station. Hide it so nobody can find us.
Yeah. So someone's riding by and they see a fire and how do I get to the fire station?
Yeah.
Where is it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
But when you look at that concept of where it's going to be located, that's a heck of a drive down that driveway.
That's why I don't believe these numbers.
Yep.
Because it's going to take you 2 minutes to get out of the damn driveway.
No.
I mean, I know they're going to have to put a light up there so they can come out.
Yep.
But you still got to open the door, get up that long driveway, and make a right or a left.
That's not in the concept either. They don't show the light. And you're going to have to put a light. There's a lot of traffic on 122.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah, you going to check with them on that? I think you're crazy if you don't.
You have to. How are you
Yeah.
going to get out? You can't just come flying up to the top and stop now.
And you got to go through the state for that.
Yes, because it's a state highway.
State highway. And they don't like adding lights. Because lights do back traffic up, but this wouldn't be a light that would be on all the time. Yeah, that's something to...
Good point.
Yeah.
These are all interesting things that you got to know.
I talked to someone from the state about putting a light on a bar on Benson Road, and they said, no way, because you got one at Plymouth Corner, and lights tend to build traffic
Oh,
up
absolutely do.
because it holds up a line, and you'll notice all of a sudden there's a whole, where did all these cars come from? Well, they were held up at the last light, and they built up.
Hey, the lights
We
at
gotta go.
Memorial Square never held anybody up.
We gotta go. Tomorrow night, Rebecca Sawsville is my guest. We're gonna talk about libraries and what libraries do today. See you tomorrow night. See you next week.